Hello, meat eaters. This is your favorite doctor of education here to share my first video on this channel called Take the Meat, Spit Out the Bones. So this channel is going to be all about education research. It's all about all the things that have been proven to work in education. So there's a lot of meat that you're going to be getting from the content, and there's some bones that you may be like, okay, you know what? I don't need that in my practice. But I wanted today to discuss my first topic on why I love teachers. Why I want to start off the channel with this, because you're going to be getting a lot of information about education research. And oftentimes, teachers can be very hard on themselves and think of themselves as like not doing enough. You don't have enough time in a day to implement this, implement that, right? So I don't want you to feel down on yourself because of your job or some of the information that may be presented in this content, but it's all very, really, very relevant, very informative. And I want some of this research for you to actually start implementing in your practice. So education research is extremely important. I'm going to be talking a lot about it in this channel, but I want to start off with first why I love teachers. Teachers give their all. Teachers give everything, everything, everything to their practice. It's a thankless job. Oftentimes, they're very underpaid, and we're going to talk about that on this channel. Not sometimes, all the time. They're very underpaid, undersupported, under-resourced. They teach everyone how to read, how to write, how to do math, become scientists, historians, all the things, right? They're extremely resourceful and giving, and they share constantly. They love or like children. They desire to make a change in society. They teach everyone, right? So they're constantly teaching. I mean, I remember, in my heyday of like teaching children, because now I teach mainly adults, teaching children, I was just constantly teaching. I need to like shut off that brain of constantly teaching. And also, we're going to talk a lot about this in this channel. They spend a lot of their money. I want to talk about what the research says on average, how much teachers actually spend from their pocket, from the pay to fund their classrooms. Also, teaching is endless hours. It is not a 9 to 5 or 8 to 2 or 8 to 3. You dream about lessons, right? I used to dream about lessons and how I'm going to start off my lesson, how I'm going to keep them engaged. Like you do all the things, right? And you're constantly working, trying to refine practice and learning new curriculum, right? You're constantly under pressure as a teacher, under pressure to learn new curriculum, to meet the demands of everyone in the building, of your district, of the parents, of the kids, of everything. So you're also constantly learning. There's never a time where a teacher is like, okay, wash my hands, I'm done. No, you constantly have to learn new platforms. You have technology. You have a new Promethean board. You have a new curriculum. You have a new room. You have a new neighborhood, a new school. You have a new principal, right? So you are constantly learning, right? And you have to shift and change automatically. Like sometimes it's so funny. And you have to be very flexible. So I remember, I think it was like kindergarten or first grade, or first or second grade. The first day of school, I was so excited to go to school. So for some reason, trigger warning, I would throw up in the classroom, right? Can you imagine as a teacher, like first day of school and you're already cleaning throw up? It's just, yeah, it's like that, right? So like you have to do that, right? You have to be someone's parent. You have to be someone's instructor. You have to be their therapist. You have to be their nurse. You have to be their psychologist, their counselor, their mediator, their interventionist. You have to be their doctor. You have to be you have to be a classroom decorator. You have to be a coach. You have to be a pediatrician. You have to be a secretary, a bookkeeper. You have to be a testing coordinator. You got to lead choruses. Like I remember one time I had to like organize a chorus for a play, and I'm like, or like it was a school performance, and I'm like, no one taught me how to do this. How come no one taught us how to do this? You could be play directors, right? You take on so many roles as teachers, and people neglect the demands that teachers are under. And oftentimes, people don't realize how much teachers have to have such a great heart, a giving heart, a sharing heart to be able to do the job that they're doing every single day. They're left to clean up the ills of society where the powers that be have failed society, right? They are left to grapple with so many social issues in their classrooms, then oftentimes they're not guided on how to do so really at all. And, why is it always the teacher's responsibility or fault to do these things? And what is society at large, doing to help these situations? So these are some of the reasons why I love teachers. And let me just tell you, education will never, ever, ever get better in this country. I'm speaking from America. I don't know if you realize that. I'm speaking from America, from my accent, right? If you don't pay teachers more. And we're going to talk more about this on this channel. You have to pay teachers more money, right? Let me tell you, it was so funny. I would see I lived in a tech neighborhood one time, and you see these tech people, they come into Starbucks with their pajamas on, on their computer, and I'm like, okay, they just relaxed, related, and released, and like they're making what, 150, 200, and I'm looking at the pay scale of teachers in that same city making $45,000 after 10 years of service. Shame on you. And let me just tell you, this is not just teachers. Everyone in education needs a raise, from the kitchen ladies, the school safety, the school bus drivers, the principal, the AP, the superintendent, directors, everyone, right? Why can't they make more? People say, oh, you don't go into education to make money, but why can't you? Right? You put your money where your mouth is. If you want to get results, you got to put some resources and funding into that. And you need to pay teachers more. And we're going to talk more about that on this channel. And they need more support, right? We're going to talk more about that. And they need more resources, right? So you cannot close gaps without attuning to the education debt in this country. We're going to talk more about that as well. Right? You can't say, oh, we got to close these gaps. People have achievement gaps. They have this gap, that gap, right? But what are you doing to remediate the ills of society that weren't caused by the folks living now? What are you going to do with this, right? So how are you going to put your resources? How are you going to put your funding? How are you going to support teachers and educators more? All the people who are guiding kids. What are you going to do, America? Right? So thank you so much. Take the meat, spit out the bones. So that's our first video for this channel. And I can't wait. I cannot wait to be talking to you more and sharing more information, my thoughts, but also research, education research. What does research say about education? All right. Thank you. See you later.